As Nigeria celebrates Democracy Day on June 12, President Bola Ammed Tinubu appears to have shown great intent for governance in his early days in office. After a controversial election, many have expressed doubts over his capacity and ability to reshape Nigeria after previous evidence of misadministration, especially his immediate predecessor who took Nigeria into the abyss of socio-economic upheavals. In his first 15 days in office, the new Nigerian president has made some key moves. In this video, we chronicle 15 of them and what they portend for Nigeria. In a rather unprecedented fashion, the president announced the end of the fuel subsidy regime in Nigeria during his inaugural address.
The first subsidy is gone.
This announcement was greeted with several realities as fuel prices shot up immediately. The fuel subsidy was removed after it has become clear that Nigeria could not continue to fund it amidst depleted revenue, huge debt burden, and several unsavory socio-economic indicators. With insecurity being an issue with the immediate past administration, one of the first actions of President Tinubu was to meet with service chiefs and the security apparatus in Nigeria. The president reiterated the need for security as a catalyst for economic revival, prosperity, and development. He charged the security and intelligence agencies in the country on the importance of information and intelligence sharing to remove counterproductivity of resources in the fight against terrorism. The president held a forum with all governors of the 36 states and shared his optimism for a better Nigeria with them. He made it clear that the nation should be seen as one big family and differences must be set aside. President Tinubu urged the governors to jointly focus on alleviating the sufferings and pains of the people, as good governance would safeguard the future of democracy. The president announced the appointment of former Benue State Governor and Senator George Akume as the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. He also named former Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila as Chief of Staff and former Deputy Governor of Jigawa State Ibrahim Hassan Adejia as Deputy Chief of Staff. These appointments came as a surprise to some and strategic to others. The key appointments are individuals who come with rich legislative experience, and it sets the tone for what his cabinet will look like and the caliber of persons the president will be working with in this administration. After the announcement of the removal of subsidy, the president has consulted widely to meet up with the challenges of fuel subsidy removal. He met with representatives of major oil marketers in the country to support his administration to meet the needs and demands of Nigerians. The Oil Marketers Association made a promise to donate between 50 to 150-seater mass transit bus, costing about 10 billion naira to help Nigerians cushion the effect of the subsidy removal within the next 30 days. President Tinubu also met with ExxonMobil executives to secure collaboration towards ensuring stability, transparency, and fair competition in the Nigerian oil sector. Also, in a bid to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy, President Tinubu directed the National Economic Council to work on interventions for Nigerians. The NEC, led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, is expected to come up with palliative measures to aid Nigerians as they adjust to the fuel subsidy realities. The president met with royal fathers under the aegis of National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria (NCTRN). He tasked the traditional rulers to support his administration's efforts to ensure lasting peace and unity in the country. He further assured them of his government's recognition of their roles as powerful custodians of the nation's unique cultural values, needed to promote responsible behavior and patriotism while reiterating his commitment to decisions to remove fuel subsidy, improve security, create jobs, and to sustain the environment. The president wrote a request to the Senate to select 20 special advisors, which the Senate approved immediately, saying the request was urgent and needed to be approved to have the president hit the ground running fully. However, the identities of the 20 special advisors and their schedules of duties were not stated, but the Senate still approved. The president met with the Health Workers Union under the umbrella of the Joint Health Sector Unions, who had been on strike. Immediately after the meeting, the body suspended its 12-day-old strike as a result of the progress made during their engagement with President Tinubu. They also gave a 21-day timeline to the government. The president brokered a deal with the Nigerian Labour Congress, which led to a suspension of plans to down tools in protest over the subsidy removal issue. The president reportedly reached 7 key agreements with the NLC and other labor unions in a bid to abort the widely publicized strike. The president announced the signing of the 2023 Electricity Act, which was reportedly signed by his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari earlier in the year. The law now empowers state governments, companies and individuals to generate, distribute and transmit electricity. President Tinubu gave his assent to a fresh amendment of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He signed into law the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 5th Alteration 2023, presented by the outgoing 9th National Assembly. The constitutional amendment will effectively bring the retirement age and pension rights of judicial officers into uniformity with others. President Bola Tinubu has met with members of the defunct G5 of the opposition party, People's Democratic Party, Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, Samuel Ortom of Benue State, Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, and current Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde. In a task towards the nation building, the presidency has also reportedly reached out to the NNPP presidential candidate, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. The president announced the suspension of Godwin Emefiele as the Central Bank of Nigeria governor. This is as a result of ongoing investigation of his office and the planned reforms in the financial sector of the economy. The Deputy Governor Operations Directorate, Folashodun Adebisi Shonubi, will now act as the Central Bank Governor pending the conclusion of the investigation and the reforms. Emefiele has since been arrested and taken to custody by the DSS. On June 12, the president signed into law the Student Loan Bill 2023. The non-interest would help indigent students access loans to complete their education and are expected to start paying back 2 years after NYSC.